Well, it's about time I got around to making this video. Globebusters 10 challenges. I just got a notification. How good the timing is that? The Globebusters should come on right at this very time. So, anyway, as it turns out, that I've had sufficient amounts of alcohol imbibed into my bodily fluid system to finally get around to making this video. Trouble is, my camera person didn't show up, so I gotta hold it for myself, and that will sort of make it, less professional than what I'd ordinarily like to do. Momentary pause for reasons. So this is meant to be like the how do you do a flat Earth videos, the one we've all been waiting for. Like, he's been saying he's gonna show us the model for like how long now? How long's a piece of string? It's at least double the distance from halfway from the point I last said it. So, it's coming. It's well, it could be coriander, but no, it's mostly coming. So, bad. Spicy joke, that one. You wouldn't get it. So where to begin? So, like, what I did is I prepared a whiteboard earlier, and that's this one over here. Because, everybody needs a whiteboard if they're gonna do demonstrable stuff. But what I didn't do is clean it off from like 3 years ago. That's like the Helios model I showed way back. I've just been like, what's the other word for what I'm trying to think to say? The other one. I've been reluctant to clean it off. However, today I did come prepared. I bought extra beer to chuck down my neck, just in case, I bought a red rag, and I bought some metho. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Let's see what happens. I bet it's so ingrained now into the... let's just wipe it off. Hang on, this would be satisfying for the viewer as well, I guess. It's just wiping straight off. We'll give another little all around, eh? And then we can get into the nuts and bolts of the discussion. Yeah, I remember what that meant too. Somewhere over the rainbow. Leprechauns sing. Who the fuck stole me fucking pot of gold, car? Why did you do that to me? I didn't. See, if I could edit the video, I would take that bit out. But, tis what it is. And so, we must suffer all things gracefully. So, first of all, it would be great if I could find me marker pens. I bought some marker pens a while back. Don't tell me I'm only stuck with... I've got a black one. I've got like a 4-pack of coloured ones somewhere. This one works. She'll be right, mate. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is talk about the nature of light. And so the nature of light is such that I am in a room. It does have a fluorescent light. That's that one. Surely I don't have to put marker dots on it so you can see it. It's got a corner light, That's not a fluorescent one, that's an incandescent light bulb. And even down the far end, you know, far beyond all the fish tanks and shit, there's a secondary fluorescent light. But the point of that is that on a is there any other sort of night? On any sort of night when it's dark, that light there gets blocked by this like fucking big support beam, because this room has support beams through it, right? And so all of this is rendered into basically darkness, even with those lights over there going. The reason there's light at the moment, okay, yeah, new monitor, you know, desk lamp, desk table, I nearly said. I told you I've had sufficient inebriated fluids, but I think I need to wet my throat some more. See if I can put a dot on my forehead. I will too. Point is, these lights here, which, yes, they are at a ground level outside. This is an underground bunker type situation, you know. Call it rumpus for it, but that's where I inhabit this house, is in this part of it, because it's so much quieter. There's a main road just out there and it bloody gets noisy. So, and at this time of year, being, I don't know, it must be like 23rd, 24th. It's 24th of the July, 2020. In the middle of in winter, right? It's overcast as shit. In fact, it's actually raining out there. Like, do I need to go outside and prove? Nah, fuck it. Let's go outside and prove. Fuck it. Just because, you know, you might doubt me otherwise. What's behind the green door? This is behind the green door. It's raining, okay? Not heavily, just a light, pleasant sprinkle. But it's fucking raining, okay? It's wet. It's damp. So, we'll go back into the dungeon. Good thing I bloody gagged the slaves beforehand, eh? And we'll get down to the nitty gritty of it. And the gritty nitty of the point of the video, you know, once I get over all the humorous BS, is see those windows, right? An overcast, rainy, wet day, they're just putting an excellent amount of light into the room. Okay, I'm not using any other artificial light sources except that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. You know. There's my little champ. Little Jenny. Fucking going for it. What a champ. Anyway. I get distracted. That's actually part of the point of this video. This is not the video. This is just the distraction comedy leading up to the. And so when I edit all this shit out of it, this will be part of it when I come to talking to this on the whiteboard. Now this here being a whiteboard, right? I'm sure we can all agree it's whitish at least, you know, give or take a few old stains. Oh man, my Helios. Good thing I made a video about that before. You can look that up on my channel. So this is the flat earth, right? Now I know that's not the scale, you know, if I was going to do it to scale, I would have done it at eye level, and so it would be, yeah, about there. But I'll hold the camera down here, so this is at eye level. And actually, this is something you can probably check on bricks while we're here at bricks, at brick level. Now, if I move this camera up and down just a little bit, you will notice that the horizontal line, if that's it here, I can't see when I'm not looking at it because I've got it on the selfie mode. Say, for example, that is the horizontal one, then this line here should be appearing to point down, the one below it will be appearing to point up. Now that is the first thing about perspective most people won't grasp, and in fact I'm just going to draw something to give you an example of perspective. You know, if I drew a cube like this, oh hang on, I fucked it up. Ah, oh, for fuck's sake, you can't even get your first diagram right, Roscoe. Come on, mate. Get your shit together. I'll get it eventually, come on, you know, I'm new at this, I've never been. We'll do that one there. Put that one back there. We'll put that one there, and that one there. Now, that's your basic cube. Now, if you were looking at this here as a face, you will say, oh, well, that's the front of it. This is the top. There's the side. Okay? No whack and furries. Well, let's do another one. And we'll do exactly the same thing. But instead, we will say that this one's the front. Kind of doesn't really work, does it? Well, it kind of does. What did I do wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can sort of see, oh, that's the top. Right. See how it works. It's not working as well as I thought I would do. Like, I used to do this all the fucking time in school. You always do 2 boxes. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, I know what it is. It's beer o'clock. had to be there somewhere. The point is, if you were seeing them as 3-dimensional images, poorest examples I could have possibly used, really. Because, okay, I think a better one is to talk about how we view a pyramid. Now, this one may work a little bit better. If we looked at a pyramid sideways on, so it would, you know, a pyramid this way, but it's got like sides down there, and there's the front, right? That's how you're looking at it, a pyramid. And you got all these different levels. Bam, 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 bam. And bam. Okay, that's a pretty shitty pyramid, but if you look at a pyramid from top down, let's say it was a flat top, okay? So then you got this around it, and this around it, and this around it, and this around it. You know, it's basically going to be this sort of shape all the way around. But what happens if you're looking at it in true perspective, then what's going to happen, because you're high above it, is that each one of these is going to get like nearer and nearer to one another, because they're further and further away from this great big square at the top. Oh, hang on. What are we doing here? Bam, 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 and bam. So each one is going to get incrementally smaller. And this is the problem that people don't grasp with distance perspective. So, let's draw a great big knob here. And we'll call this a lighthouse, right? Rather than be a great big fucking knob. We'll give it a little base down here and, a couple of balls. So it's even more knobbish. We could call it Knobby Point, like they do in Newcastle. Let's not descend into gutter language here. So the thing is, right, when you're looking at something from a great distance, so here's the flat earth, right? Here's you. Here's you. You're this little fella, and you're standing like just above sea level because there's all the water down here. And here's the mountain with the lighthouse on it. And so you're looking up to it over here, right? You would think. But no. Perspective has this distance diminution factor involved in it. So what really happens is you're up here, in a sense, because where you're looking out to the lighthouse is a straight line. We'll start again because I'm fucking shit at making a point. Absolutely fucking shit making the point here. And I've done a great job at being fucking shit at it. So I think that's a drink. Come on, don't be the empty one. That's the empty one. There it was all along. Good little fella. Right, so what's happening when you've got a lighthouse? We'll draw it a bit more like a lighthouse, Light emanating out everywhere, but it's basically pointing left, right, front and back. It's just swiveling around. So there's your light level. Do I don't even like saying the word do because it's actually do. Americans don't know how to speak properly. Due to perspective, it does not matter. Like if you're down here at sea level, like there's your sea level, of course, and you're down here looking like a fucking retard with your head up your ass, or if you're on the ocean way out here, also with your head up your... Come on, get up there. The thing is, you are looking line of sight to the same place, but line of sight more metho. I can smell the metho. It's getting me off me tits. This is the method to me madness. Right. Metho. Methanol. Okay, let's go back to the bricks. Let's have another look at the bricks here. Okay, there's one line of sight that's going to be horizontal. This line of sight going down, this one going down more, this one going up, that one going up even more. I'm hoping I'm hoping that shows. Like, it's probably not a big enough field of vision to show what I'm talking about, but at least I know what I'm talking about. So when we're looking out, no matter where your eyes are, okay, here's my eyes with the brick. Which brick line, if I held the camera equal with my eyes, of course, which brick line is going to appear horizontal? The one that's equal with the line of sight, whether it be the camera or the eyes. That is what horizontal means. Maybe this will work better where I can see it. Okay, it does. So here we've got just below line of sight. This one here is pretty much horizontal. See how it matches with about where my eyes are, which is about where I'm holding my camera. If I lifted the camera up, now my eyesight is obviously below it, but I'm not looking through my eyes through the camera. The camera is now become the eye looking at this, and so where the horizontal line is ends up being way up here because I'm holding the camera up at that height. I bring it back down, look at the horizontal line move in accordance with what horizontal actually means. And so because I don't have cameras inside my eyes to record this, obviously I can't project it through my eyes to show you what I'm seeing. So I think let's just look at this one more time. See that line equal with my eyes is horizontal. Lift the camera up, that line now appears to converge upwards. It's really hard to do because it's so anti what we would expect our normal abilities to do to show perspective. But the eye line or camera line will always be horizontal. This is the biggest one I'm currently having a lot of trouble with. A number of certain low earthers on certain discussion boards who have given me another 30-day ban from Facebook, no less. Thanks very much. That's all good, you know. I don't really mind too much because it's given me the opportunity to think about imbibing and talking about the nature of light. And as I look at the time ticking away, I have a feeling that this camera only goes for 30 minutes, and so I'm going to have to start a second one. I don't really care. What I'm trying to get to is perspective will and does and must and always will do change with the eye height of the viewer. It's a basic given. Therefore, the horizon. Let's have another quick look down this brick line here, even though it only goes a very short distance. The horizon, if you followed each and every one of these lines, is going to converge at a point called a convergence point. Like that line cannot go infinitely up. This line cannot come infinitely down. They have to eventually meet at a certain point, which generally isn't that actual far from a viewer. Yeah, on the brick wall, if that brick wall extended for 100 meters, for example, instead of just 3 meters, they will come to a point, and that point converges into the point which we do generally refer to as the lack of angular resolution, being able to discriminate the difference between up and down, and that's the horizontal line, which is what I was trying to do previously with that, because the horizontal line, even though it isn't actually a physical point, it's a convergence point. It's a limit of the eyesight which has to be reached sooner or later. And basically, when we're talking about if you're 6 foot standing on the edge of an ocean, yeah, I know I'm talking in feet again, it will be about 3 miles. So let's say you're standing at 180 centimeters, or let's just say 2 meters high. At 2 meters of height, that convergence point at the horizon will be about 5 kilometers away. But it's only about, because that point, even though it looks like a point, it's not a point. This point here actually exists in a place of infinity. And as hard as that is to grasp, this is all the water under here. All the water, blah, 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 blah. But up here, we got all the clouds, and clouds doing all their cloudy sort of thing into the distance, smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. But this point here is only about here. So the clouds here, that's your 5 kilometer point. These clouds here, they're converging. Everything above you is converging. And so these ones here might be like 10 kilometers. These ones here might be 20 kilometers. These ones down here, 30 plus kilometers away. Like, until you get into these ones down here, they could be like thousands of kilometers away. I'm really good with my English and everything, aren't I? Left the K out of the K. But the point is, this point won't change because it's physical. It is solid. It is hard, or it is wet. It is unsee-through. This one up here is see-through, so you're going to see through much more of it. So that way, if a boat, I'm really good at drawing boats too, like, fuck yeah. Goes across here, he's going to get smaller and smaller until eventually he's going to reach that point where he converges with the horizon. But once he gets to that horizon point, all this shit down this side, you can't see through it. But all this shit, you can. So that's why you're going to see the sail of the boat while the bottom is obscured. Got to draw a much better boat than that. That's better. The top will still be visible while the bottom's obscured, because at this convergence point, it's all coming in to that point. You cannot see through this stuff. You can see through that stuff. I hope I made my point about convergence. I haven't even touched upon the nature of light yet, which is what I intended to get towards. But hopefully, somebody with a bit of intelligence can see how that works. I'll have to stop this and do a part 2, because from previous experience, my videos don't last beyond 30 minutes. And I do really want to get into the nature of light, because that's far more important than convergence. But you can't crawl until you can fucking get up on your hands and knees. And you can't walk until you crawled and you certainly can't run until you can walk. So we have to go through this a step at a time. So this will be part 1, and part 2 will be coming up momentarily.